Hi, this is IkwerreGirl Acheru, all the way from Talk2Dot. As you know, my channel is about raising awareness on domestic abuse, domestic violence, and all that. From time to time, I do delve into what's going on in society, or if I see that it's a relevant topic that can draw knowledge to what I talk about, I kind of delve into it. I have a playlist that is called What's Going On or What's On. So if you go there, you see me talking about things that are going on in society and trying to create more awareness about it. Right, today is going to be one of my reactions to a movie or a sitcom that's going on, TV series more so to speak. So it's called Bridgerton. Everyone was going on about Bridgerton. I saw that all over Facebook and stuff like that. A lot of married people as well get a bit of eye candy by watching it, the Duke of Hastings. So anyways, after so many referrals that I should go ahead and watch it, I decided to go ahead and watch it. Bridgerton actually gave me quite a bit of trauma. It kind of set me off, so I'll tell you what I saw in Bridgerton, and you can tell me what you saw in Bridgerton. So Bridgerton is about, glamorous society, ancient tales. There's the Duke, who is this nice, hot, handsome guy, the Duke of Hastings, who has said that he's never going to get married, even though he's got tons of girlfriends and stuff like that. And then there is Daphne, who is a young maiden who is supposed to go out there and find, or she's supposed to go out there, and then lots of the handsome young men will pick someone who is worthy. I burn for you. So somehow she gets herself involved with the Duke of Hastings, and they come up with this stuff where they pretend that they are in a relationship and stuff, so that her rating becomes high, so that she becomes more desirable to other people. So it started off as, we're just friends, we're just acting, it's not real. Well, people began to see the love between both of them. But they agreed that it's not going to be a love thing, even though somehow they began to fall for each other. Now, the Duke actually was caught with Daphne in the garden, a little bit of hanky-panky, kissy-kissy, touchy-touchy, which obviously in those times was not allowed. So when that happens, you have to marry the person, make an honorable maiden out of her. And he actually said he wasn't going to marry her, he'd rather die. But anyway, she stopped the process and she put up this announcement saying, we're going to get married. Now the Duke has come out to say, I don't want to do this to you because I really care about you. You understand? I can't have children, and I know your desire is to have children. I can't have children. Now, Daphne is a maiden. She's a virgin. She's not exposed to life at all. And then her parents, her mom, never really exposed her to what sex is and all that stuff. So when the Duke said to her, I can't have children, she assumed maybe he had a bit of, maybe he didn't have anything down there, maybe it was broken, or maybe it didn't work. So she was a bit like, I don't know what's going to happen. But anyways, they came to an agreement. We will get married, and I accept you the way you are. As long as you accept me like this, that's fine. We can't have children. So they got married. It was an amazing romantic story of this wedding. And they had sex. Every time they had sex, before he came, he would pull out. She actually felt sorry for him. Was like, is it painful when you do that, when that happened? He's like, no, I'm okay. So he actually did not want to discharge inside of her so she doesn't get pregnant. Now, because she was so naive and she was never actually educated about the topic, she actually didn't know that that's not what was supposed to be happening, and she actually didn't know that she wasn't getting pregnant because of that. As long as she never spoke about children, the relationship was fine. The way he looked at her, it was like nothing else mattered. Now, if you've been through an abusive relationship and you've watched this movie, you would recognize the look the Duke gave to her. As long as she never mentioned children or wanted to have a family, it was fine. Whenever she mentioned children, or just, you make it, children love you. He's like, oh, doesn't mean that children have always loved me. Doesn't mean I'm going to have children. He would instantly shut down. The thing with narcissistic personalities is they don't always give you the truth, the full truth. They give you a part of it. Now, with the Duke of Hastings, it wasn't that he couldn't have children, but that he chose not to have children. I can't have children and I don't want to have children are two different things. So he actually led her into a relationship based on the fact that I can't have children. It took her a couple of months and stuff like that. Like, he would absolutely shut down for no reason, and she couldn't understand. You understand? The Duke of Hastings was someone who had a very broken childhood. He was completely messed up, to be honest. And narcissists and abusive people are usually very, very messed up people. Now, when you say to yourself, when a narcissist or an abusive person says, oh, I just have an anger problem, or I'm just a bit too controlling or jealous, oh, I like to live an isolated life, and you decide, they kind of throw it to you to make the decision, so they can always come back to you to say, but you agreed to this like this, why do you want to change it? But you didn't agree to the full picture, you agreed to half a picture. When you said, okay, although they got a bit of a temper issue, I can manage that, you didn't know how bad the temper was. When they say, I'm a bit jealous, you didn't know the extent of the jealousy. And they will hold that against you for the rest of your life, saying that, but you knew the terms and conditions before you entered. Now, back to the Duke of Hastings story. It took this girl a couple of months to find out that this is not the real process of sex. He shouldn't be coming out of me just before. So, she took the bull by the horn, and when he was about to, she put him on his back, she rode him, and then he came inside her. After that happened, she was like, how could you lie to me? And he was like, what have you done? The relationship from that moment onwards went pear-shaped. Now, he would never acknowledge the fact that he lied to her. He was not honest. All he always did was saying, this is not what I wanted. I told you that I can't have children. But it wasn't a case that you can't have children. You chose not to have children, and you must always be open. Now, if you watch the movie, he shut down. There was absolutely no way to reach him. This is exactly how abusive relationships are. As long as you do exactly what you are told to do without asking questions, it's fine. Once you step out of line, once you do something, once you think out of the box, when you say you don't want this anymore, it becomes a problem. They shut down on you, literally. They're like a different person. In that movie, you can see she couldn't understand, like, did you stop loving me? How did the love, was it never real? But this is how they are. The point is, there was never any love. Now, if you watch this movie, right, the sexual part of the relationship was, boom, what you will always want. The way he looked at her, the way he held her hand, the way he touched her. Excellent. Now, one thing you know about abusive relationships is the communication could be horrible. The financial management could be horrible. Everything about it may not just work. Your mindsets might just be two different angles, two parallel lines that never meet. But in some cases, yeah, the only thing that works in that relationship is the sex. The only time you guys are in agreement is when you're having sex. That's the only time things are good. That's the only time the abuser is happy. Abusive people tend to use sex as a way to weigh a person down. That's all they want to do. I mean, there's some cases of abusive people that never touch their partners, but there are those ones, because I'm reacting to the movie. There are those ones that is the only time when you get, well, a part of them. And it's not always all of it. As you can see, he held back from her a vital information about who he was and what he was doing. Now, abusive people play on your intelligence. The Duke of Hastings played on the intelligence of this young girl. He knew she was a virgin. He knew she was not exposed to a lot of things. He knew she did not know. I could literally do anything with her and she would think, right, this is what sex is. So he played on her intelligence. Abusive people, narcissists, they go for people that are not clued up, people that don't know. Because if you know, you will see them for what they are. They go for people that don't know. Because if you know, you will see them for what they are. They go for people that don't know. People who are a little bit naive, people that are a little bit sheltered, people that have a part of them that is kind of missing. Well, not missing always, a part of them that is not exposed to certain things, and then they prey on those elements of it, and that's how they get them latched. By the time you spend years and years and years in that relationship, and your eyes begin to open, begin to have problems, you know? It's like someone saying you can't come out of the door. Because you've never actually been out of the door, you actually believe that you can't come out of the door. Oh, if I come out of the door, I'm going to die. One day you open that door and there's nothing there. Everything outside the door is beautiful. There's other people you can talk to. There's things you can do out there. You begin to wonder, why have I been told never to open that door? That's exactly what that movie was like. Now, fast forward. Everybody around her, her mom, people kept saying, oh no, don't give up on the marriage. Marriage always has its ups and downs. You're going to have your trials, you're going to have your tests, but you have to be patient. It's going to work out. I've seen the way he looks at you. I've seen the way you guys are together. There is chemistry. Have you heard that before? Another problem we have in society is the way people give advice. Why tell a person who is going through hell, just be patient? Things are going to change. Just because you want them to stay married, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they hurt. You don't know how much pain they go through. They're living like less than a human, and you're telling them, yeah, I've been through stuff like that, or these things happen. When are we going to start telling people the truth? Why do you have to always tell a person who is being suppressed in a relationship that just manage? It will get better. Trust me, it always gets better. Now, when I say I'm reacting to a movie where it's a man and a woman, and sometimes you have a man in a relationship who is going through hell, and the advice he gets is, hang in there, it will change. Just do this. Why do you always have to tell people to take a step back and take trash and take insults and take things that are not right because you want to save a situation that potentially should never even exist? Everyone told this girl, don't worry, just hold on. Don't give up on it, just hold on. And all of that advice kept her. Now, you might say, at some point she gave this lovely speech, and it kind of made up, and she was like, I understand what you've been through. I've seen the letters. I know what your father was to you. I can understand why you made this decision, but I'm here for you. The truth of the matter is, people have stuff. Now, if you choose that someone's secrets and their pains and their brokenness, and you want to stay there, great. But a lot of times, some people are so broken that there's literally nothing you can do to change them. They're going to take their brokenness and break you. At the end of the day, you lose it all. Some people cannot be fixed. If they need to be fixed, they need to take a decision that they want to be fixed, that they are going to get help. They need to fix themselves before they come to you. Now, she decided and they decide to get on with it. And of course, as a love story, fairy tale story, they go ahead and they have a child. And that's where the series ends. I would like to see how it goes forward. Because a lot of times in abusive relationships, a person says, I want children. The other person says, I don't want children. At some point, the abuser gives in and lets you have a child. You having that child is something that is going to keep you trapped. Because as long as you are in that relationship, things don't change. The attitude doesn't change. The abuse doesn't change. It even gets worse. But you know what? They're going to come around and say, look what I did. I never wanted to have a child, but I did this for you. This is the sacrifice I've made for you. So you're now roped into a situation where someone holds it to you saying, I did this for you. I gave up myself for you. This is how that cycle of abuse continues. I am so interested in seeing what the next season will be like. One, because I want to see how it goes. Is it going to be an unrealistic story where, everything goes great, they have a child, they live happily ever after, he becomes a great dad? Just like that. Because in reality, it doesn't really change. It doesn't really change. He can't love that child. He can't be a great father. Having the child doesn't change anything. It's just one more thing to show. Now, abusive people don't want children because they feel like that child is a competition. That child comes between them and the person. That child takes away some of their attention. They want their attention to be on them alone. So having a child in an abusive relationship, as statistics prove, abuse gets more in pregnancy and even after childbirth. People wonder why. That's because the abuser never actually wanted a child. They had a child with you to keep you in the game. They'll have a second child with you if that's what it takes. So that you're in that position where you say, I don't want to break up this family. The kids need their daddy. The kids need their mommy. That's what they do. Oh, let's buy a house together. Oh, I never wanted to go abroad. I went abroad for you. I never wanted to relocate. I never wanted to buy a house. I did this for you. And then and you begin to feel guilty for the rest of your life, saying, but this person made such an amazing sacrifice for me. I must sacrifice for them. They must truly love me. So, like I said, I saw a cute guy in Bridgerton, the Duke of Hastings. Yeah, he's kind of cute. Abusers usually kind of cute. They're charming. They're master charmers. They can get probably anybody they want, as long as the person is not clued up. They know how to play the game. They know how to waltz into your life. It actually gave me a lot of triggers. I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I seeing here? You understand? So I ended up getting hooked on it. I binged on it and I proper watched the whole season within 2 days because I was just like, I want to see what happens next. I want to see what happens next. All I have to say to people is that for those that are not in a relationship, watch out for the master charmers. Those ones that say the perfect things. Those ones that know what the next thing is that you want to say, that can literally complete your sentence, that their lines are so much in line with what your vision is. Watch out for those ones. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone who says the right things all the time, but it's a combination of things. How much do you know about them? If someone says, oh, I really don't like this, why don't they like it? Like he said, I can't have children. Why can't you have children? Are you ill? Is there a problem? If these questions were asked in the beginning, she probably would have known. But the problem is, from her end, she wasn't actually aware or exposed to these kind of things. So she didn't have any idea. If you meet someone and they say, I don't like my family, they don't like me. Why don't you like your family? Why don't you like them? What happened? If you meet someone and they say, I just decided to cut off from my friends. Why did you decide to cut off from your friends? What happened? If they say, oh, my friends are a bit like this, I decided to cut off from them. Right, so you have a couple of friends that are not great people and you chose to cut off from them. How about you make new friends that are positive-minded people? You can't just say, I've cut off from my friends and everyone in the world. There is a problem. So you need to look out for these things. The Duke of Hastings was someone where even Daffin's brother, who was his really good friend, they had done lots of things together, even the guy who he used to box with, they really didn't know him a lot. They just knew that he was someone who was alone. None of them actually knew him. Watch out for people who are great people. They are master charmers. They are everything. They check all the boxes. But guess what? You can't find anyone that actually knows anything about them. Not even their families. It's like there is this big dark secret about them that no one knows and no one can see. But anyway, that is my take on Bridgerton, and I am looking forward to the second season. I hear they're working on it. I want to see how the story unfolds. I want to see how it goes. It goes on. For those people that watch it as eye candy, yeah, there's a bit of eye candy in there. There's a lot of ranchy scenes and stuff like that. Great. But I saw a lot of gaslighting. I saw a lot of narcissistic behaviors. I saw a lot of selfishness. I saw a lot of lies and deceit from a so-called perfect relationship. And that is exactly what you get in abusive relationships. While everyone out there sees them as the star couple, these guys are just a match made in heaven. On the other side of it, nothing is real. It's fake. So from me to you, as always, if you are in an abusive relationship, don't stay there. Talk to someone. Isolation is the breeding ground of abuse. And if you've got no one else to talk to, please talk to Dot. If you need help with coaching, counseling, and if you need to be on a mentorship program, get in touch with me. www.Talk2Dot.com. Get in touch with me, fill in a contact form and tell me, talk to me and let's work together. Talk to me and let's work together and let's see how we can get you. This is 2021 and this is a new start, a new beginning. This is time for you to rise up. From me to you, one love, peace, guidance and respect.